This is Joy News Today with me, Benis Abu Bedu. To our very first story, reactions continue to pour in following the disqualification of some 12 presidential aspirants for this year's elections by the Electoral Commission. The EC disqualified these candidates over a number of reasons. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba is following up on some of the disqualified candidates who turned up this morning at the EC's office. He spoke earlier with the flag bearer of the Great Consolidated Popular Party, GCPP, Dr. Henry Herbert Latte, who expressed shock at the Electoral Commission's decision to disqualify him from contesting in this year's presidential election.
These are 420 volumes, documents, and if they found something amiss, the law is for them to let us know and amend it. They don't say it. We were here from 11 o'clock to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon that day. Nobody called us. And then there was 10 more days after that. Nobody called us. And all of a sudden we hear that 18 pages, 18 to 22 pages on the law that we quoted, and then 14 to 17 were not dated. Simple things like this, that we could have done it easily. We were not told about it. And then you use that and say you've disqualified us. So we are here. We are waiting for our lawyer, and then we'll go and have a meeting with them so that they show us all the forms and where the problems were and why they did not get us to amend it like it said in the law.
So before we got to this stage, the Electoral Commission did not contact you to tell you that there are some things that we've...
Nothing. Even today, it's only now that they've called it that they've given us a letter for the disqualification. Only this morning. No, not this morning. Even 20 minutes ago they called us. I've asked them to bring it in. We didn't hear. We heard it on the radio. On the radio.
So what meeting, I don't want you to, I know you don't want to preempt what is going to happen at the meeting, but you want to give us a fair idea of what the discussions that you're going to have with the EC officials.
Why? Wow. We want to see the form that he felt that was not complete. We want to know why they did not tell us to amend the documents during the period that we should have amended it. You understand what I'm saying? So also, why? Why do you do such a thing? We want to know. And then our lawyer will take it from there.
So what will be your next line of action? Your lawyer will take it from there. What exactly are you looking at?
We haven't been in yet. We'll go and talk to them. They are human beings. If they've made a mistake, of course they will rectify it. If they've made a mistake and still want to fight, then our lawyer will advise us accordingly.
The UFP joins disqualified presidential aspirants who want to sue the EC over its action. The United Front Party has joined some of the 12 disqualified presidential aspirants who have declared the intention to sue the EC. In an interview with Beatrice Edu, UFP leader Dr. Nana Ajeni Boateng said the EC has been unfair to him.
As the presidential candidate of your party, what do you make of it? What's your reaction?
Many times I think the EC has been unfair to me. The EC has not treated me very well. Simple because the ultimate law that our dear sister Charlotte Ose wrote to us concerning that any political party that is not able to get a two-thirds of the nationwide offices can't contest. Moreover, she will cancel that political party certificate. As I talk to you now, I have over 200 offices. CPP doesn't have even up to 100. And out of 600 people who are supposed to endorse me, you said that 3 of them, voter ID information has appeared on other political party. It's 2 things. One, it could be the EC IT section has not done their job well, or there is a multiple voter registration in the system. It could be that same people bear the same voter ID information. I've been in the system for quite a long time. I know what is right. I've gone round all over the country. I have offices everywhere. And what pains me much is that I happen to be the first political party that report on that 29th. And I submitted my forms. Per the law, if you see this error, you have the right to rectify and inform me.
Doctor, Eugene Boatin, did you read the constitutional instrument 94 guarding or guiding this particular election? Because if you had, the EC talked about one main reason is that you did not meet the regulation 74 of CI 94. The EC also talked about nomination form not properly signed by candidate, the statutory declaration is not properly executed, filing fee is not presented in requested mode or amount. You didn't do all of these per the letter from the EC.
I think then the EC has given me the wrong letter. If this is what she is telling me, then she has given me the wrong letter. Can I have the receipt of the filing fee? Then the EC has given me a wrong letter. That's why I'm taking the case to court. You understand? Moreover, she gave a deadline that any political party that is not able to be there by 12 noon yesterday, that party will be disqualified. By 12:30, I was there and the CPP chairman came there, pleading that they are now doing their bank drafts.
It was 12 o'clock and you're saying that you were there by 12:30?
Yes, I waited till 3:30 p.m. before CPP brought their filing, how do you call it, bank draft. This is my receipt given to me.
No, but I'm saying that the EC gave 12 o'clock and you are saying you were there at 12:30.
No. I mean, I was there before 12 o'clock, waited till 12:30 before the CPP chairman came there.
Why don't we leave the CPP out? We are talking about the reason Electoral Commission has disqualified you, and I just read a bit of it to you. The EC says that you did not meet these requirements. So whether or not you got there before the deadline they gave, this is what the EC is saying. So the EC is disqualifying you based on these requirements that, according to it, you failed to meet, not necessarily because you got there before 12.
My dear, I think the EC has given me a wrong letter. Do you get my point? There is a window in the EC constitution that when you present your document early and there is some error, close to 600 people and you are targeting 3 people, you understand? One of them even happened, the lady, excuse me, this lady, Amadou Babia Latifa, she happened to be my parliamentary candidate's wife. And she is a teacher. Know her left to right. Not that somebody who can innocently do something. Her husband is contesting on my ticket.
Let me find out, why do you think the EC gave you the wrong letter?
Because the charges in the letter doesn't suit me.
Still on the issue of presidential hopefuls who've been disqualified, the Progressive People's Party says it is considering a legal suit against the Electoral Commission following the disqualification of its presidential candidate, Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndum, from the elections. The PPP is among 12 presidential candidates disqualified by the EC. The Commission says it is unable to accept Dr. Ndum's nomination because the number of subscribers in his forms did not make the requirements of Regulation 72 of CI 94. PPP's Director of Communications, Parko Akon, spoke to us earlier on News Desk on plans the party intends taking.
Let me say that Dr. Ndum will today address the press on this very issue at 3 p.m. But as a party, we are shocked at the kind of event that even after Friday, 30th September, we made the effort to find out from the EC if everything was intact. And the assurance we got was that there were no problems. So we were shocked yesterday to hear from the EC that one of the subscribers, by name Richard Aseda, signed for Central and Volta region. We are delving into this issue, and I'm sure by close of work today, would have taken a strong decision on this matter. It's our right to go to court if we find any decision of the EC untoward. And so we shall avail ourselves to that right of seeking redress in court. It is something that our legal team is considering. And hopefully by close of work today, would have also made a decision on that issue.
Now, the Electoral Commission says parties whose presidential candidates have been disqualified from contesting the 2016 elections have themselves to blame and not the Commission. Director of Communications at the Commission, Eric Jakwasu, who spoke earlier on Newsdesk, says they did what was humanly possible under the law to have all prospective presidential candidates certified to contest, but a good number of them failed to take advantage of the opportunity given them.
The procedure, the candidates come to submit their nomination form. As soon as we receive a form, the vetting as it is begins. And at the point of vetting, when you detect the errors, you draw their attention to go and then as it were, do the necessary correction. So it is verbal, how to meet them. It is only the final decision that is communicated to them in writing. On one-on-one basis, we did engage with them. When you look at the brief of the commission on this rejection of a nomination form, it is stated copiously that those who brought their forms within the stipulated time were notified of the errors and given the opportunity to go and then do the necessary correction. Except for those who came very close to the time where, practically speaking, it would have been possible to go around, not to mention those whose cases were outright cases of misrepresentation, forgery, suspected forgery, and then impersonation. In a democracy, the last time I checked, everybody has choices. And I think if somebody decides that he is going to court, as an election management body, I don't think we have any means of preventing the person from going to court if that is the person's choice. We don't have a say in the decision each and every one of these candidates aspirants are going to make. As we speak right now, we are on course with our activities. We are finished with the nomination, and we'll move on with the other activities. But as a law-abiding institution, whatever the law says or the court says, we would abide by it.
Let's still stay on this matter and go live to my colleague Maxwell Agbagba, who is at the EC's head office here in Accra. Now, Maxwell, thank you for joining us. We heard you speak to Dr. Henry Latte, who is the GCPP's presidential candidate. Have you spoken to any other person, and what have they been telling you? Hello, Maxwell? Well, we seem to have lost Maxwell. They will rectify the lines and get back to him. Well, let's still stay on politics. The minority leader in Parliament, Osei Che Mensah Bonsu, says there was less corruption during the period of the revolution under the PNDC era than there is under this current NDC-led government. He made this statement while explaining his position that the NPP flag bearer, Nana Akufo-Addo, is a man of integrity and has never involved in corruption. He spoke earlier on Joy FM's Super Morning Show.
Akufo-Addo has proved that he's a man of integrity, that he's never involved himself in corruption. The motivation, and you see, I was never. You know what happened? Yes, under him. Yes, but believe you me, the period. I've never been a great fan of the so-called revolution, but as I said in Akan, what time Okodua no in America, the period between 1982 and let's say about 97, 98. No, did I say 92? I'm talking about 82, 1982 to about 86, 88. One could vouch for the integrity of the majority of the players in the NDC, PNDC, the majority of them, who were trying to do their best. Maybe one could fault them that their best was not good enough. The latter day since, that is approaching the era of the return to constitutionalism, those of them who were there, those were the people who, if you're talking about really burrowing into the national kitty, were, taking issues and maybe allocating and appropriating funds to themselves, grabbing with their hands and their feet. But admittedly, as I said, one could vouch for the players of those days Not 100%, but you could get about 90-95% of them who were beyond board. If you have a person who with the political will to be the driving force, to be motivating others on that course, they will stay. But where, as we have now, people commit such offences and they are brought under the cover of the umbrella in the office of the president, it becomes difficult for us as a nation. We've had situations where attorneys general who should be protecting the purse of the country were the people who went to the finance minister to pay amounts to supposed judgment debts to people, including Wayomi, including Asafoton, including construction pioneers.
And they were brought into the protection of the president.
What happens if these things come up and we relocate them from that office? What does it suggest? I mean, the people of this country have grown wiser. So we should be candid with ourselves.
You're watching Joy News Today with me, Benis Abubedu. Let's go back to the EC's head office where my colleague Maxwell Agbagba is standing by with some latest updates. Hello, Maxwell.
Yeah, hello, Benis.
What can you report now? Yes, I can hear you, Maxwell.
Okay, great.
What can you report now at the EC's head office? We know you spoke earlier to Dr. Latte, flag bearer of the GCPP,
yes,
and he
Benis,
raised a lot of concerns. Who else have you been speaking to, and what have they been saying?
Okay, Benis, earlier when I was at the EC's head office here in Accra, I had interactions with Akosi Adai Odike. He's dissatisfied about his disqualification from the upcoming elections and says that his presence at the EC's office to find an amicable solution to the issues raised by the Electoral Commission, and he said he wants them to resolve the issues amicably. I also had interactions with Midday, who was also Ghanaian, who also wanted to be president of this country. He's also not happy. Madam Bikadonko was also there. So basically, the common denominator for a lot of the presidential aspirants who are disqualified yesterday, they are not excited about what happened, and they are there at the EC's office to resolve the issue. But the EC officials, the EC workers, they would not allow any media personnel to go inside the precinct of the Electoral Commission. They said they finished with what they're supposed to do, and they are done with it, and they will not allow media people to get inside the main EC's office. So a lot of the interviews that we have to do it outside with the presidential aspirants. Now, there's heavy security presence at the Electoral Commission offices here in Accra. I had interactions with the district commander of Adabaka. He tells me that it's just a normal routine. He downplays what we call a heavy security presence. He says that it's a normal police patrolling that they are doing. So there's no cause for alarm. But Madam Bikadonko at the EC office tells me that because he's been disqualified from taking part in the race, what he's going to do now is to marshal all his supporters and gather all the resources that he has, to support President John Dramani Mahama. Really, I don't think that would be too much of a news to a lot of people. We move straight to the PPP head office here at Asalam Down, here at the PPP office where I'm currently stationed. Earlier, there were a lot of young people back from different places gathered here. I see a Metromass transit bus and about 7 different sprinters with young people in there, all clad in PPP party colors, some of them in red shirts, singing and chanting against the disqualification of Dr. Papa Kofi Indom. They say they are not excited by the decision by the Electoral Commission. So as it stands right now, we gather that the PPP party leadership is locked up in a meeting right now, that a party executive I spoke to would not disclose where that meeting is taking place. But we gather that there will be a press conference at exactly 3 o'clock, and they'll be responding to the various issues raised by Dr. Papa Kofi, raised by the Electoral Commission, I must say.
All right, Maxwell, did you get any response from the Electoral Commission with regards to the concerns that these disqualified presidential hopefuls have raised, even though you were not allowed into that meeting? Did you get any response from the EC? Hello, Maxwell.
Benny. Hello, Benny.
Yes, Maxwell, I'm asking if you got any response from the EC, even though you were not allowed into the meeting between themselves and the disqualified presidential aspirants?
Well, we didn't get any official response from the electoral commissioner, neither did we get any response from any worker at the EC offices. They will not allow us to get insights, we can have interactions with any of their workers. So that's no official response from the Electoral Commission.
All right, thank you very much. That was my colleague Maxwell Agbaba giving us some updates on some disqualified presidential aspirants who are at the EC's office today. He's currently at the PPP headquarters, where a lot of supporters have moved there to register their displeasure about the disqualification of their flag bearer, Dr. Papakwesi Indum. You're watching Joy News Today with me, Benis Abubedu. We'll bring you more stories after this. Many thanks for staying on Joy News Today with me, Benis Abubedu. Away from politics and election-related news, the girl child in Ghana does not aspire for high goals. That's the sentiment of a gender advocate, Elizabeth Akbalu. She attributes the situation to the lack of role models, especially in Ghana, for mentoring. As the world marks International Day of the Girl Child today, we find out from her how this issue can be resolved. But first, let's hear from some girls on what their aspirations are and if they have role models.
I just completed GHS, so I'm working hard to go to the SHS to study General Act. After General Act, I'll study hard and pass, so I can go to the tertiary to study law. And I want to become one of the best lawyers.
I want to become a medical doctor in future, and I'm learning towards this, and I hope that one day I'll become a medical doctor. Now, I'm going to SS to do general science. Yeah, I'll be going to the university to do medicine.
I want to be a soldier. I have to be disciplined, hardworking, and strong. If I get to secondary school, I'll read science. From there, and I'll get to the university and continue with my education. Then maybe that's when I'm going to do the course. From there, then maybe I continue with the military work.
I want to be a nurse in my future. I'm working to help my parents to help me in my school to become a nurse.
I want to become a nurse in future. I'm working hard by learning. I'm learning hard, but I don't know. I'm trying all my possible best to become a nurse in future.
Gender advocate Mrs. Akbalu joins us on the line now. Good afternoon, madam. Thanks for your time. Now, I'm sure you heard the girls, but do you think that not having mentors or role models is enough to limit these girls from achieving laurels for themselves?
Oh, there are a whole lot of other reasons. You know, through socialization, girls are not brought up to be assertive like boys. And I think we need to help young girls right from, from the home through to kindergarten, to junior secondary school, to senior, and to the whole community, the whole ladder of education. We need to, have programs that will empower the girl child. And I'm saying this so that the girl child can aspire to any height. But it appears the girl child, most of the time, is afraid to even shine when they are very good in, let's say, mathematics or something, any other subjects. They want to hide. They don't want to come out. So we need to empower them, put in programs. I think a lot is being done, but we need to do even more. In all fields. And when I say there are not enough role models, I'm saying this because, girls look at other women who have achieved and who have gone through the mill, and that will also inspire them to be able to emulate those role models. We need to have more of that. And in this particular instance, we need to have effective female role models, female teachers, who are role models. And I'm very happy that the best teacher award went to a young female. And that is very, 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 something that we should all celebrate.
All right, Madam, you speak of putting together some programs to empower these young girls. What kind of programs do you mean when you say programs should be put together to empower these girls?
Yeah, the first place, when I say programs, from the kindergarten in other countries, girls are allowed to stand on the platform and, speak out. We need to do more of those things. Allow them, give them the space to be able to express themselves, to be able to dream, and to be able to aspire to whatever heights they want to. We should not push them aside or let them keep quiet. No, we need to empower them to be able to speak out, speak their mind. In our society, we don't encourage girls to do that. Boys get away with a lot of things, but the girls don't. I'm speaking from this background because I come from a family where we had 3 girls in a row, from a father who was the only male among 7 sisters. So you can just imagine. He decided that since he started with only 3 girls, he must as well empower, ensure that the girls are as good as boys. And that is how. So you see that a lot of fathers empower their daughters. And it should be something that we should really, really encourage in the society. And especially what is really dear to my heart is the girls who, through no fault of theirs, drop out through pregnancy, from school. They should be supported. We should have support mechanisms in place to make sure that they go through their term, have the children, have the babies, and go back to school. That should not be a way to terminate their education, because you don't know what they will be in future. So these are the support mechanisms that I think we should do. We should put in place to empower them and help them to attain their potential, because otherwise we'll be denying our own country the good resources that will help us to grow as a nation.
Right. Thank you very much. That was Elizabeth Okpalu, Executive Director, Gender Advocates International. Now, let's move from International Day of the Girl Child and talk about women. Some women engaged in straw basket weaving in the Upper East region are appealing to the Office of the Export Development and Agriculture Investment Fund to finish some shelters the fund started for them, which are yet to be completed. The women who currently weave their baskets under trees say harsh weather often disrupts their work, and this affects their profits and their economic lives. Therefore, they want funds to be provided for the completion of the shelters that EDAIF started. Upper East correspondent has the rest of the story.
The Bolgatanga Basket Weavers Cooperative Club, of which the women are members, submitted a proposal to the Export Development and Agriculture Investment Fund, EDAIF, and got funding to start building shelters for the women who currently sit under trees to weave. The first tranche of funding was not enough to complete the structures. At Sumbrungu, several of the structures are at the lintel level. No windows and doors have been fixed, and the buildings have not been roofed, exposing them to harsh weather. The women sit under trees close to the buildings to weave their straw baskets. They want work on the structures to be fast-tracked so they can have access to and make good use of them.
We have been weaving under this tree for a very long time. Sometimes the shade is not enough for us, especially when it is very sunny. And when the Harmattan comes, we can't even sit here and work because the wind distracts us. They came and started this structure for us, so we are praying that they finish it for us so that we won't have to struggle this much any longer. Farming is not lucrative, so we weave the straw baskets and sell them to be able to cater for our children. We pay their school fees, buy their books, and provide food for them through this trade. But weaving under the tree comes with a lot of challenges, especially when there is a new design we are supposed to weave. We need to be in our numbers so we can teach each other, but that is not easy under the tree. It affects the orders we get from customers. Anytime it rains, we can't sit here and weave. So we are very, very happy when they came and started this building for us. We are grateful for the work done so far, but we are pleading that they complete it for us.
You're watching Joy News today with me, Benis Abubedu Emmanuel Abuateria.